Okay, we are recording. And everybody's on mute. Hi, everybody. This is Maren, and today we are going to be doing a power flow. This one won't be as fast as the last power I recorded, so it will still be challenging. I don't like to really say that this is for beginners or intermediate or advanced. I always hesitate to say that because I feel like it classifies people in a way that may not be comfortable for everybody. I think if you're brand new to yoga and you want to give it a shot, I say go for it. Why not, right? What's the worst that's going to happen? Hopefully you won't feel down on yourself. You try the best you can. Know that you just started and you do what you can do. If you are an advanced yogi and want to take this, then great. Just know, as all advanced yogis, you can make this as difficult or as easy as you'd like. You could be adding in arm balances wherever you want to. You can hold something a little bit longer. You could move faster through a flow and just repeat it over and over again while waiting to catch up, while we catch up with you. So this is really your practice. Generally speaking, it's probably for intermediate and advanced yogis, but really I'm all for anybody giving it a shot. I don't think that there should be any limitations on who is allowed to take this class. So today I am using my Spotify under Maren Leah, as always, MarenLeah. That's my Spotify. I'm going to be using 1 hour flow 21. This is actually one of my favorite 1 hour flows. It's a really good one, in my opinion. I like it. Every time I listen to it, I get excited. So we could start that together, counting back from 3. After 1, I pause for a moment, and then we press play. So 3, 2, 1, play. Great. Let's begin in child's pose. Knees out wide, big toes to touch in the back, your chest and belly sinking down between your knees, and just let your forehead come down to the floor. Fingertips reaching towards the front of your mat. Just arrive here. Notice where you can melt a little closer to the floor. Notice how your body feels, how your breath feels. And just let everything be. I've been thinking a lot lately about what it means to set boundaries, to be able to say no when something doesn't work. And I've come to the conclusion that me, just like a lot of other people, have always been a people pleaser. It was hard for me to say no, for whatever it was. Can you come with me to this place? Will you teach this extra class? Will you do this Instagram challenge? Whatever it is. It always made me feel really crummy to say no, so I almost never did. But lately I've been thinking a lot about how brave it is to feel confident enough to say, no, that doesn't work for me. You don't even have to give a reason why it doesn't work. Just say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Think about that today. In yoga and after class, giving yourself the permission to say no. That could be to a pose that I throw out there. Nope, doesn't work for me. Then you don't do it. This is your hour. And only your hour. So you get to spend it however you'd like to spend it. Maybe it's just sitting in child's pose and breathing for the entire hour. That's okay. In fact, that's still great because you're still showing up on your mat. Let's take a few deep, full breaths together in child's pose. Inhale deeply through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. One more, just like that. Inhale deeply through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Now start to ignite your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. So gently close your lips and start to breathe in and out through your nose, constricting the back of your throat as that air flows in and flows out. This Ujjayi Pranayama breath builds heat inside of us from the inside out and brings us back to this space when our mind starts to wander. It probably will, and that's okay. You just guide yourself right back to your breath and arrive back on the four corners of your mat. Now pull up lightly on the lower belly. So pull it up and in and hold it there, the Uddiyana Bandha. Just keep that engagement throughout class. It builds fire inside of you. And then pull up gently on, I love this song, pull up gently on your pelvic floor. So you're pulling it up, the Mula Bandha. And together those two bandhas create a bandha lock. It really traps energy inside of you. It engages you. With your next inhale, come up onto all fours. We'll just take a couple of cat-cows to begin. Inhale, drop your belly, spread your chest, look up. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Inhale again, arch your belly, spread your chest, your shoulders are over your wrists, hips over your knees. Exhale, push the floor away from you, push your spine up. Now come to a neutral spine, a flat back. Start to walk your hands forward, coming into puppy pose. So in puppy pose, you want to keep your hips directly above your knees, walk your hands out, and let your chest drop down to the floor. Now sometimes blocks can really help you with this, putting them underneath your arms, or maybe you just let your chest drop down. It doesn't have to go this far. You can stay up if you'd like on your elbows. Deep, full breaths here, warming up your spine. Maybe you rock lightly side to side. Beautiful. Walk your palms in, plant them beside your ribs, and then let your hips come down to the floor. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift your chest. Keep a bend in your elbows. Now release your glutes. So notice if they're tightening. Try to release them. The tops of your feet are pressing into the floor. Exhale, your forehead comes down. Inhale again, lift. Bend in your elbows. You can start to straighten them a little more if you're ready. Exhale, forehead comes down. Now walk your hands out, tend to your fingertips, elbows pointed up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, drop your right shoulder down. Taking a twist, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, your left shoulder dips down. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Exhale, bring your forehead down. Tuck your toes under, bring your palms beside your ribs. With your inhale, like flat as a board, push up into a push-up. Hold it there for a moment. You're engaging your core. Exhale, downward facing dog. Start to walk out your feet. Bend a knee one at a time. Maybe you lift a leg, one. at a time. Take any movements you would like to warm up your body. And then meet in downward facing dog. Your heels pulling down towards the floor. Every inhale, think about tilting up your tailbone towards the ceiling. Every exhale, press your chest closer to your thighs. Now notice where those bandhas are. This is a perfect spot to engage those bandhas again. So you're pulling up on the base of your spine, your pelvic floor, and then you're pulling in your belly just gently, creating that energy within us. Inhale, come up high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and then travel to the top, maybe a tiptoe up to the top of your mat. Step your feet 2 fists distance apart. Grab your elbows, start to sway side to side. Shake your head, yes. Shake it, no. Shake it, yes, again. Now release your hands down to the floor. Interlace your fingers behind your back and just wind your arms over your head, taking a deep bend in your shoulders. Your knees can be bent. Exhale, let your hands come down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten your back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly roll up to standing. Reach your arms up, look up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Just take this moment to set an intention for your practice. Maybe it's a phrase or a word. I am strong. I am brave enough to say no. Whatever it is, it's yours. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Flutter open your eyes. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand and pull to the right, side bend. Open up your chest towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center, switch out your grip. Exhale, side bend to the left. Open up your chest. Inhale, come back to center. Release your hands back behind you. Fingertips can face down or up and just lean back as you press your hips forward. Next, inhale, slowly stand back up. Exhale, forward fold as your hands trace the backs of your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten your back. Exhale, hands come down, step back to a high plank. Hold that here. You're turning on your belly. You're pushing the floor away so much that your shoulder blades, that spot in the middle, is puffed up towards the ceiling. Now shift forward so that your shoulders pass your wrists. As you exhale, your elbows come in towards your sides. Come to a hover chaturanga. Inhale, scoop your chest forward. Your chest lifts. Look up, upward facing dog. Maybe your thighs are lifted too. Tops of your feet are pressing down. Exhale, tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep full breaths right here. Start warming up your spine. Inhale, come up high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to standing. Reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Push down into your left foot. Inhale, come back to center, switch out your grip. Exhale, side bend to the left. Again, pushing down into your right foot this time. Inhale, come back to center. This time, goalpost your arms, take a baby back bend. Exhale, forward fold as your hands pass through heart center. Inhale, flatten your back, create length. Exhale, hands come down. You can step or jump back, high plank to low plank. Take the vinyasa any way you'd like. If you also want to skip the vinyasa, you can. Whenever I suggest it, you can just meet us in downward facing dog. Come back to that loud Ujjayi breath. Inhale, come up high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to standing. Reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, back to center. Take a baby back bend, be brave. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down. Vinyasa. Loud Ujjayi breathing. Inhale, your right leg lifts high to the sky. Exhale, knee in towards your nose. Squeeze it in. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, your knee towards your right elbow. Get it up high. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, your knee in across your body to your left elbow. Now kick that leg out long. And then inhale, reach your left fingertips up while you dial your back heel down, right into a fallen triangle. So you're opening up your chest towards the ceiling. Exhale, your left hand comes down, your right knee comes in. Inhale, send your right leg back. Exhale, knee in towards your nose, and then gently step it between your hands. Now stay up high on your back toes. With your inhale, reach your arms up, and then reach your hands back behind you. You're gonna push your hands, your knuckles towards the mat as you lift your chest. And then with your exhale, hinge forward, winding your arms up overhead. Now if you want some extra stability, dial that back heel down. Deep bend in your front knee, and you're snuggling your shoulders on the inside of your right knee here, okay? So we're getting a deep shoulder stretch. You can even let your head touch the floor only if your hips allow it. Deep full breaths. If you want to work on your balance, try to stay up on your back toes. Yeah, that's hard. Beautiful. That's your exhale. Now bring your hands down to the floor, and with your inhale, let your hips drop and lift your chest. Awesome. Now let your back knee come down, your forearms come down, and we're just taking a lizard lunge here. Just for a few breaths, opening up our hips. If you want to try to walk your hands away, just notice if this knee is still over your foot, still over your ankle. For those of you who have bird of paradise, if you want to come into it, tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Now you can stay just like this too. Now reach under, you're snuggling your right arm under, you're reaching back, interlacing your hands, and then you step your left foot up to meet your right. Slowly start to bring weight into your left foot. See, we all fall. And then extend your right leg long, right into bird of paradise. Slowly make your way out the way you came in. And then come right back into that lunge. If you have an arm balance here and you want to try it, you can do that too. It's a little early, but heck, go for it. And bring your hands to the mat. You're actually going to bend your elbows and use that as a shelf to lean forward. So you guys do you. We have a few breaths right here. And start to walk your hands in, push into the floor, tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, and then with your inhale, you're actually going to bring your right leg up and back. Take some circles if you want. If you would like to flip your dog, go into wild thing, you can. And then meet us back in downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg lifts high to the sky. Exhale, knee in towards your nose. Squeeze it in. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, your knee to your left elbow. Inhale, send it back. Your knee across to your right elbow. Hold it, and then extend that leg out long. Inhale, your right fingertips reach up. Your back heel dials down. Fallen triangle. You're opening up. Beautiful. Your right hand comes down. Your left knee comes in. Yes, make sure that you're engaging your belly right here. Awesome. Inhale, send that left knee all the way back. You guys are doing great. Exhale, your knee in towards your nose, and you're going to step it through. Now remember, You can stay high on your back toes or dial it down. You do what's best for you. Inhale, reach your arms up, then reach your hands back behind you. Open up your chest. I'm going to try it on my back toes. I can always bail if it doesn't work. Exhale, hinge forward into humble warrior. Winding your arms overhead, getting low in the hips. Beautiful. Couple breaths here. Next exhale, let your hands come down to the floor. And then inhale, we're just coming into that low lunge. Your chest is lifted. Beautiful. Now you can drop your back knee down. Come onto your forearms. Get that deep lizard lunge stretch here. Opening up our hips. Remember, you can take any variation. If you want to try something new that you've never tried before, give it a shot, right? So you tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Your left arm snuggles under your left leg. Reach back with your right hand and step your right foot up to meet your left. Remember, this is always optional. Slowly come up into that bird of paradise if you'd like. Couple breaths, and when you're ready, you come out as slow as you came in. If you want to try that arm balance, you bring your hands down, you use your elbows like a shelf, and then come back to that deep lizard lunge. You could also have done any kind of stretching on either side you'd like. It's your practice. Start to walk your hands back in. Plant your palms down on either side of your left foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then with your exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest. Inhale, send it back, downward dog split. Bend your knee. You can flip your dog, take any circles you'd like. Release that blood flow, and then set it back down next to your right leg. Beautiful. Always take your time wherever you need to. Deep, full breaths. Inhale, your right leg lifts high to the sky. Exhale, knee in towards your nose, and then step it through. Now, bring your back knee down again. You can untuck your toes or keep them tucked if you'd like some stability. Though I've noticed when I tuck my back toes, I find more pressure in my knee. Actually, untucking my toes hurts my knee less. It could be the complete opposite for you. So do what works. You can always put a rolled up towel or something underneath your knee just for extra support. Inhale, reach your arms up. You're sitting your hips back a little bit, trying to get that knee directly over your ankle. Arms reach up. Now with your exhale, press your hips forward. Open up your chest. We're doing a lot of hips today. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Goalpost your arms, lift your chest. You're really feeling this in your left psoas. Inhale again. Exhale. Beautiful. Now bring your hands down. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Right into that half split. So remember, you can go down as far as you want. Maybe this is as far as you go. Maybe you keep a deep bend in your knee. That's okay, as long as you feel it in the back of your right leg. You can also sit your hips all the way down to take a stretch. If you have full Hanumanasana, full splits, you can take that right now. Beautiful. Walk your hands forward. Plant your left palm on the inside of your right foot. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Inhale. Dragonfly twist. Now, this is a great pose if you have a block and you need some extra length. You can place the block directly under your hand, or a water bottle even. Look, I have my seltzer here. I can use that. It just gives you extra length, especially to open up a little bit. So if this going down to the floor doesn't work for you, use a prop, any prop you have lying around. I'm going to take a sip. Awesome. Lean back. Exhale, right hand comes down. Right foot steps back to meet your left, chaturanga with your exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg lifts. Exhale, knee in towards your nose and step it through. Back knee comes down. You can tuck or untuck. You can wedge something under your knee. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, press your hips forward. Think about pulling your left hip back while you press your right hip forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Hands come down to the floor. Beautiful. Tuck. Oh, don't tuck. Exhale. Next exhale. Start to hinge back. Your hips come back. So remember, hips can be in line this way over your knee, or maybe you sit it back if you don't have that knee problem in the right knee. You do whatever works best for you. And again, full Hanumanasana if you have it. Couple deep breaths for this deep hamstring stretch. Your toes are pulling up towards your face. Now walk your hands forward. Don't forget your breath. Right palm plants on the inside of your left foot. Back toes tuck. Knee lifts. And then reach up into that dragonfly twist. There's no shame in the modifying game, right? If you want to use a block or a water bottle, you do you here. In fact, sometimes blocks can get you into poses a lot deeper. One more inhale, reach. Exhale, your left hand comes down. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. And inhale, send it back. And exhale, bring it back down to downward facing dog. Inhale, come up high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up, chair pose. Yeah. Sit back low. All your weight is back towards your heels. Did you notice how we skipped that vinyasa that time? Deep, full breaths. Don't worry. We'll be doing plenty more, my friends. Exhale, hands to your heart and twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the left, hooking your right elbow. Pull back on your right knee. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, vinyasa, or step right back to downward dog. Beautiful. Inhale, come up high on your toes again. Exhale, bend your knees. We're going to step or jump up to the top of your mat, out wide. So you want your feet wide. If you step, just step wide. Your toes might have to come up when you sit your hips down right into malasana. Palms are at your heart, chest is lifted. Deep breathing. Remember to pull up on that Mula Bandha. Close your eyes and just catch your breath. Use your breath to slow down your heart rate. Beautiful. If your eyes are closed or your gaze softened, flutter them open. Inhale, lift your hips up just a little bit. Yeah, it's going to burn a little bit. You're going to feel shaking, but that's you getting stronger. Inhale a little higher. Whoa, squeeze it. And then inhale, straighten your legs, straighten your arms. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center, samastiti. Samastiti, walk your feet in. Whew, it's a day. Beautiful. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down. Take another vinyasa. So you can do that any which way you want. Maybe you do a fancy handstand into it. Maybe a chin stand. You do you. Here we go again. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee in towards your nose and step it through. Back knee comes down. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, press forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press forward. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, this time hands come down and we hinge into the half splits. Inhale, dragonfly twist, right fingertips reach. Exhale, right hand comes down. We step the right foot back, Vinyasa. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, back knee comes down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press. Inhale, reach, and exhale, hinge forward, half splits. Walk your hands forward, tuck those back toes. Inhale, dragonfly. Remember, your knee can always stay down in any pose that you need. Exhale, left hand comes down. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Vinyasa. From that downward facing dog, come back to your deep, full breaths. Remember, anything that I suggested, it's okay to say no to. It's okay to have your own boundaries. You can use blocks or straps wherever you need to bring the floor up to you. From downward facing dog, maybe you guys are getting your sweat on like me. Inhale, your right leg lifts. Exhale, knee in towards your nose, and then gently step it through. Now dial your back heel down. Inhale, cartwheel your arms open, warrior two. So it's a deep bend in your right knee. Your right knee is tracking over your ankle. So there's a tendency to pull it in. You don't want to do that. You want to press it out and then sink down low. You're also pressing into the back, the pinky side of your back foot, so you're engaging your back leg. Arms are at a T. Your left arm usually has to pull back more than what you think. And then look over your right fingertips as you sink down a little bit lower. Yes. Get down a little lower. You've got this. Yeah, you're supposed to feel a little shake. It's supposed to be shaky. It's supposed to be hard. That's okay. Right? You're not afraid of things being hard. With your inhale, your arms lift. You straighten your front leg. Sweet relief. Exhale. Warrior two again. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale. You release. And then with your exhale, we're going to bend back into your right knee. You're going to bring your right forearm to your right thigh and lift your left arm up overhead, extended side angle. So you can keep your elbow there. Try not to dump all your weight into your forearm. So you're just maybe even hovering it, using your core, and then reaching your left arm up overhead. You can also bring your left hand down to the floor if that provides you with a deeper twist to open up your chest towards the ceiling. Now with your next inhale, bring your left arm back down, your left leg as you straighten your front leg. Reach your right fingertips up. Yes, right into that reverse triangle. So it's a little different than the last pose. This time, you're really opening up your right side body and taking a side bend. You can always try a half bind if that works for you. You get to do you. Exhale, bend back into your right knee, cartwheel your hands down to frame out your right foot. You come up on your back toes, step your right foot back to meet your left, Vinyasa. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee in towards your nose and step it through. Back heel comes down. Now, a lot of people like heel to arch alignment or heel to heel alignment. You do what works best for you. Sometimes having your feet towards the long edge of the mat, you get more stability. And open up your arms to a T, warrior two. Deep bend in your front knee. Make sure you're not leaning forward or leaning too far back, okay? You're stacking your shoulders on top of your hips. Inhale, straighten your front leg, reach your arms up. Exhale, come back down, maybe a little deeper. Inhale, reach up. Awesome. Exhale. We're coming into that extended side angle. Twisting your chest upwards, still engaging that back leg. You're pressing down into the pinky side of your back foot and turning your chest upwards. Inhale, start to straighten your front leg. Right fingertips reach down. Left fingertips reach up and back, right into that side bend. Deep, full breaths. Maybe your gaze is lifted up towards the ceiling. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bend back into your front leg. Cartwheel your hands down to frame out your left foot. Step it back, Vinyasa. Deep, full breaths. Notice where your mind is. Are you beating yourself up? Just let it go. No comparisons here to anything or anyone. Remember, you're pressing the floor away from you, pressing your chest close to your thighs. Inhale, right leg lifts again. Exhale, knee in towards your nose and step it through. Dial that back heel down. Inhale, cartwheel open to warrior two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extended side angle. So we have two warrior twos, two lifts. Inhale, reverse triangle, opening up. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Big movements here. So big movements are not only wonderful for your body, but they're also really good for your brain. You're telling your body, using your brain, where to go. And those complex movements and those big transitions are so good for your neurons. All those neural pathways that you're creating. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Back heel comes down. Inhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extended side angle. You're twisting open. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Step it back, Vinyasa. Now, right from where you are, bring your forearms down. Yes. Now, you can stay just like this. Maybe you walk your feet in a little closer. If you need to take a break, you can. Just bring your knees down. Take a break. Or maybe you walk your feet in even closer. Or even closer. You can also, maybe you lift one leg up. If you feel comfortable and you have a wall behind you, or if you feel comfortable not having a wall behind you, maybe you take some gentle little steps. Little kicks, gentle kicks. Now try to pull your hips down. So when you're in this, there might be a tendency to open up your hip to the side. That's not gonna let you, if you're opening up that right hip, you're not gonna be able to get there. So make sure you're pulling your right hip down. And then take some little hops. So once you get there, maybe you're gonna come right into pincha, forearm stand. Deep, full breaths. Maybe when you come down, you can try the other leg. You don't have to do it like I just did it. Maybe you move your mat against the wall. Yes, try, good, great. Try to keep your shoulders above your elbows here. And then look between your hands the whole time. Your palms are pressing down. If you bring your hands together, that's great, except you're actually making it harder for yourself. So palms are pressing, fingers are wide apart, your hips are lifted, and you're staring between your hands. So then you just take tiny little hops. Think of it like a seesaw. So the weight of your back leg is actually balancing the weight of your front leg. Yeah. That's awesome, guys. Beautiful. When you're ready, come down to child's pose. Take a breather. Take a breath. out of breath, use your breath to slow your heart rate. Maybe you start counting 4 seconds in with your inhale, holding it at the top, and 4 seconds out with your exhale. From child's pose, walk your hands in just a little bit, come up onto all fours, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg lifts high to the sky. Exhale, swing your right knee behind your right wrist, your right foot comes behind your left wrist, setting up for half pigeon. Walk your hands in, squeeze your thighs together, get some lift here, and you're also aligning your hips towards the front of your mat. And then exhale, release it down. Walk your hands forward, keeping the length in your spine. Come all the way down. If you don't feel this in the outside of your right hip, kick your heel and your foot towards the top edge of your mat. So as close to parallel as possible. Then you'll really feel it. Otherwise, if it's just too much, then kick your foot closer to your left hip and then fold. Notice where you can soften. If you need to take this on your back, if this is too much for you, so just swing your leg around, roll onto your back, and hook your right ankle over your left knee. Reach your right hand in between your legs, interlace your fingers, taking the figure 4 on your back, using your right elbow to push your right knee out. Then you are in complete control of how deep you go here for this outside right hip opening. Whichever variation you're in, notice where you can melt just a little bit closer to the floor. If you are facing downwards, you can always prop something underneath your hip for a little bit more support, so it's not so much pressure. Maybe right under your right hip. It can be a rolled up towel, a block. If you want to take a variation like mermaid or king pigeon, you can do that right now. If not, just stay right where you are. Slowly start to make your way up, walking your hands in. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Inhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest and send it back out. Any release you need here, you can come into Wild Thing again or take any kind of stretch, circles to get that blood flowing back into your hip. And exhale, set it back down. Just for a moment, notice how different your hips feel, your right from your left. Inhale, your left leg lifts. And exhale, you're swinging your left foot behind your right wrist. Your left knee comes behind your left wrist. And walk your hands in, squeeze your thighs. Create some tension there as you squeeze up and lift. And then exhale, release it down. Walk your hands forward and come into pigeon. If you were on your back, you could have just stayed on your back. You can also just change up your legs right now. It doesn't look like anybody is on their back, so, but for anybody watching on YouTube, you could just stay on your back and just change legs. Remember, you can use a block here, a rolled up towel to take some of the pressure off your hip. Also, if this is just too much, remember you can bring your foot as close to that thigh as possible. And you don't have to bring your chest all the way down. You can stay up on your forearms. If you have any variations that you would like to take, king pigeon or mermaid, you can do that right now. Otherwise, you can stay right where you are. Notice where you can melt into the floor just a little bit more, where you can soften. Is there a muscle in your hip that's gripping or holding on? Use your breath to just surrender into the pose. If you're doing any variations, start to come all the way back down. And walk your hands in. Plant your palms, tuck your back toes under, and then lift your back knee as you bring your left knee in towards your chest. And send it back. Any release you need here, if you want to flip into Wild Thing, go for it. Feel the rush of blood into the joint. That is where the magic happens, you guys. That's why yin is so powerful for your big hip openers, your big joints in your body. And set it back down when you're ready. Inhale, come up high on your toes, look between your hands. And exhale, you can step or jump through to a seat. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. And then exhale, using length, so keeping your spine straight, start to hinge forward and fold. This is another great pose that a block can actually make you get in a little bit deeper. And I'll show you how. So, if this is too much for you, keep your knees bent. You can grab your feet just like this. You can also grab a towel or a piece of clothing, wrap it around your feet so you've got some leverage here, and then start to straighten your legs until you can really feel it in the backs of your legs. Try to keep your back straight. So you really get to pull here to get it. So if you wanted to use a block to get in a little bit deeper, you can place the block on the bottoms of your feet and then use that leverage to pull your chest closer to your toes. You'll really feel it if you start to curl your feet as close to your face as possible. And then surrender. I feel that, let me tell you. If you have the block, place it off to the side. Walk your hands back in. Inhale, lift your arms up, look up. And now using your core, slowly roll down onto your back. Go as slow as you can go. And once you get there, release your hands next to your sides. Plant your feet down. We're going to be taking one back bend. So if you have full wheel in your practice and you're warm and you want to do it, bring your hands up next to your ears. Your fingertips are facing your heels. If you want to come into bridge pose, which is a little less deep, you inhale and lift your hips up. Maybe you interlace your fingers behind your back as you shimmy your shoulders close to each other. If you're trying full wheel, press up with your inhale, and then maybe you walk your feet closer to your hands, walk your hands closer to your feet. Try to press your chest in between your arms, so forward. Awesome. A few more breaths right here. One more inhale. Get a little deeper. Squeeze your thighs together. And then exhale. Tuck your chin if you're in full wheel. Slowly roll all the way down onto your back. Inhale. Lift your legs up. Now you can stay just like this. You can also use a block or a towel under your sacrum for a little bit of extra support. And then rock up onto your shoulders. If you have shoulder stand and you want to do it, you can use your hands under your lower back to support you. But squeeze your tush. Point the balls of your feet up towards the ceiling so you're engaging your legs. If you want to come into plow, you can do that right now. Lowering your toes over your head. You can also stay right where you were. Great pose for digestion. Make sure you're really breathing here. It's easy to forget about your breath in a pose like this where you're sandwiched all together. It's super important that you focus on that breath. That's what yoga is all about. The breath is an integral part. Slowly, if you would like to, let your knees drop next to either ear. Give your head a little squeeze. An awesome pose for migraines or headaches. And any inversion is so good because you get fresh blood to the brain. Inhale, slowly start to lift your legs. And then exhale, roll down onto your back. Beautiful. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. And then exhale, guide it across your body. Open up your right arm, coming into supine twist. This is another pose where you may want to put a block under your right knee. It could help, especially if you have some tension in your lower back or your hips are not as flexible. Make sure your left knee, and you might need to shift, your left hip is stacked under your right hip. And try to soften your shoulders down to the ground. Look over your right shoulder and then soften your gaze. Inhale, slowly roll back to center, give it a squeeze. And then release it down next to your left leg. Try to recenter if you're kind of off the mat. Inhale, your left knee comes in towards your armpit. You can take some circles here, some squeeze. You can even try a half happy baby here, pulling your foot in so you're opening up your hip. And then exhale, use your right hand, guide it across your body. Remember, you can always modify, use a block. You do you here. And then turn your head towards your left shoulder. Supine twist. Slowly roll back onto your back. Squeeze your left knee in towards your armpit again. And then exhale, release it down next to your right leg. You've made it to Shavasana. Open up your legs just a little bit. Let your toes flop to the sides. Open up your arms away from your body. Palms up to receive the energy of the universe. Or maybe palms down to ground you if you're feeling a little overwhelmed or flighty, or you just need to connect to the earth a little bit more. So you get to choose. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. If the room is very light, maybe you put a towel over your face to darken it. Use this time to really rest, to really let everything go. I will guide you out of this Shavasana when it's time. So really just let it all be. Let your body be. Let your mind be. Let your breath just be. Slowly start to bring some awareness back into the room. Notice every sound. Maybe the smell of the air. Notice where your clothing is touching your body, the weight of your bones. Maybe you notice how different you felt from when you walked in today, from when you entered this space, stepped on your mat. Where are you different? Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, roll out your wrists. Let your breath start to deepen. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, point your toes towards the front of the mat. Take a full body stretch. Exhale, bring your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a hug, this moment of gratitude. because you showed up today. You did this for you, for no one else, just for you. Slowly roll on to your right or your left side, whatever side you need right here. It's the side of new beginnings. Maybe you recommit to yourself, giving yourself that permission to say no, to show your boundaries, to let people know that it doesn't work for you. Where in your life can you do that? That takes bravery. Using your hands, push your way up to a comfortable seat. Eyes stay closed or your gaze softened. Hands come to heart center. Thumb knuckles pressed against your heart. Let's take a deep, full breath together right here. Inhale deeply through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. One more, just like that. Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold it at the top. Sip in more air. A little more. Hold it. Open your mouth, let it go. Now maybe you curl the sides of your mouth into a smile and keep that with you for the rest of the day. The love and light within me honors and respects the love and light within you. And it is with this love and light that we are all connected. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. You can unmute yourself. If you have any questions or concerns, any thoughts about practice, you can let me know.